I'm Carlos. This is the Bonsai Show. In this program, we're going to be playing with bonsais. I'm no professional. I'm a hobbyist, and I do take hobbies very seriously. I enjoy the joy of bonsai very much. It's something that's enriched my life, in my soul in general. I wish to share that passion with you. And on this program, we're not only going to be taking care of my trees, we'll be looking at other gardens. We'll talk about other bonsai practitioners. We may even meet a few of them. But on this week, I've got my lovely Brazilian rain tree. It's in dire need of a pruning. This is a Brazilian rain tree native to Brazil, of course. The scientific name is Pithecellobium tortum. Today we've got pruning to do, and I'm figuring I want to cut this down drastically. I'm going to cut about all this off, probably cut all this off as well there. Now if you want to pull back a little bit, and I'll try to see if I can get another view of this. If you want to, I want to try to go with a triangular shape, because in the wild, these like to grow, where are we at? We're on this camera right there. If you want to back that out a bit. In the wild, these things grow in like a big umbrella shape. They come out and they come over, and they look like a giant umbrella. I sort of want to go with that. That would mean taking off a lot of this height and letting these grow out. But I think in the meantime, what I'm going to do is grow a more triangular approach to it. Going with the natural line that it has right about here, and then taking the other line, and then, yeah, you can see that line, and then taking this line down here. So, not only are we going to be cutting this tree, we're going to be pruning this tree, we're going to be saving the little limbs here, and we're going to clone them to make more trees. So, without further ado, let's check out the tools here. And I brought my tool roll today. I've got assorted tools, and really all we're gonna need are some pruners, some shears of some sort. I like these guys, are nice and sharp, but actually I think what I'm gonna use are my new Felcos here. Nice. Yes, so I'm gonna take a look at this main structure right here. This main structure, from the trunk rather, all the way up to the tippity top branch. We're looking at this guy right here. That seems to be the soaring bunch. There's not much, there's a lot of air right here, not a lot of density, which we want to fill that in eventually. As you can see, my hand goes right through there. There's so much air in there, and sort of a blank spot. As you can see, look at that blank spot right there. All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll get started with some of these bigger ones, and let's get started. You know, the most important thing when you start doing bonsai is thinking about the future. What is it going to do later? Or what do you want it to look like? So you have to cut with meaning. So things that are pointed straight towards the trunk, we're going to want to eliminate those. And we have a big branch that's right about here. It just sort of comes out and it spits all the way out. I think we're going to go ahead and it's a rather thick branch too. We're going to go ahead and give that a good cut. And that's our first cut. That's going to be a nice cutting right there. And remember, all these, we can save these, we'll make these into beautiful cuttings. And then we'll make even more of these trees. So don't feel like you're killing a tree or you're wasting anything, because we can all make it happen. So we've got, moving back up here, we've got this branch. Seems to be crossing over with another branch. We don't want that. So we're going to, can you zoom in on that? See how zoomed in you can get with that? I'll just point my knife at it, or my thing there. Oh yeah, that's great. Look at us go. So I've got a nice branch that comes up and out right here, which is this guy. And then we've got this one that comes over and crosses over. We're gonna give that a good cut, but we're not gonna do it flush at the joint. We're gonna give it about halfway for any presumable dieback. Now, can you see that there? Yeah, there we go. So you could cut it right here at the joint, but you want to leave a little bit for dieback. So I'm going to go right about here and give that a good snip. And you see I left a little nub there. Because these kind of deciduous trees, they die back to like the next node. And if you cut it too low, you may end up making this branch die back further than you want it to die back. And that's terrible. Okay, moving on here. Right now we're looking for troublesome branches that we don't want in the final product. Now I've got this branch right over here. This is a branch that kind of goes up from the front of the tree and then rolls to the back of the tree. But there is a nice little branch that's kind of coming up and then out. And I'll show you, this is right here. So this kind of goes up and then it goes towards the back of the tree. We don't want that, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and give that a nice little snippy. Oh, that's a beautiful little clip in there. It's coming along, making decisions, looking at the tree. Now I see a branch here that's kind of pointing towards the back, but crossing over other branches, which I'm not into. So let's see, see if I can find this for you here. Now this is a very thorny tree. I don't know if you can tell, but look at these thorns here. So be careful when you handle this tree. This will undoubtedly stab you in the fingers if you're not careful. Okay, so back to that branch, wherever it is, right here. Let's see if I can show you guys here. This little branch. Where are you at? You're on camera one there. If you can zoom in right there, this little branch, although it's nice and robust, it's coming up and sticking straight up. Before it sticks straight up, it's crossing over a branch. There it is right there. You can see it comes over and it's crossing over this branch. Not very appealing. We need to figure out something to do with it, but it does have this one that goes straight up. Straight up, dog. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this one enough dieback and cut right behind that, because that's going up. That'll give us some movement going up, give us some decisions to make later. And make it, and most importantly, make it nice and neat. And since we're in that area, Brandon, that's a good spot that you're at there. Here's an example of when you cut, it dies back right there. See if I get that leaf out of the way. It dies back ever so slightly, you see that? And when we have that, that's why we cut about halfway, because it's going to die back. And if we die back too far down, that dead spot's going to kill whatever that's connected to. And that seems to be a lot of branches in that area. So we wouldn't want that to happen. Okay, moving on. So we're doing pretty good. We're clearing up. There's going to be a lot more sky that the leaves can see. It means more production of growth. More sun, the better. All right, so I think I think I got all the problem branches for now that I want to deal with. As a matter of fact, see this back branch we were just talking about, it's still iffy to me, and I think I want to get rid of that whole branch. And if you want to come in and check this out, Brandon, this is a scary hit right here. Oh, beautiful shot. So this is way too much. This is way too much here, because we've got, as you can see, this bigger branch right behind it comes up. And then this one has got a branch, comes up right behind it. However, right below this cut, you see we've got this foliage here. And that's where it's going to take over if we cut. So I think what we'll do is, this is a big cut right here. It's a nice thicker branch. I'm going to go a little bit higher on this for dieback. But as you can see, we cut off a nice thicker trunk. Let's zoom in a bit if we can. There we go, a nice thicker part of the trunk. Okay, so we're getting there. I'm just thinking about what we want here. And as a matter of fact, this is huge right here. This giant branch right here that's just towering. It's what you're seeing right there. I think we can actually take that down. I think if I take that branch off, that's going to not only reduce a lot of the foliage, which is fine during this time of year, and this is a tropical tree that lives in a greenhouse. So basically it lives in summer all year long. and it won't really experience any cold below 50 degrees. So this thing is gonna pretty much be growing all year long, and boy does it grow. It's a prolific. It's a prolific and a prolific grower. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take down this branch real low. And I think I've got this nice branch that's saying hello to you over there. What we'll do is we're gonna cut this branch down. It's a big cut. I don't even know if I wanna do that, but I'm going to. And it's going, it's happening. Oh man, what a cut. Look at that. Oh man. I don't even think I have enough soil to keep all this going. But as you can see, we're losing a lot of that shape that we had. And I thought I was gonna go triangle, but I think I'm gonna go towards the umbrella where I think it's got enough height. I want it to now creep out and support itself a little more. And we're not gonna be cutting a lot of things down to nothing. We wanna have that fine ramification so that it's not just long branches sticking out, that it's a whole network of branches sticking out. And this, of course, will thicken up as it lives. But let's keep working on this. We've got this long little guy right here. Oop, where'd you go? There you go. This long and right here. What do we do with that, you guys? It's tall enough, and perhaps we can shorten that a bit. I think if we shorten it to about here, maybe there, that'll be nice. Let's go ahead and just trim it up and see what we got here. We'll just go ahead and take that one off. It's a nice big, it's looking good. It's a little too tall, but it's all right. This is not we're not styling this right now. We're pruning this for the future development. If we were gonna try styling this, we'd bring out some wire maybe to get some movement. I do like the clip and grow, which means you just clip it and it will grow in a different direction based on where you cut it. Matter of fact, maybe we can go over that just real quick here with this little guy here. So when you cut, and let's see which you're at, this camera. When you cut a branch, let's say we've got a branch coming out this way, we cut that right off right there. What's gonna happen is that it's gonna take off now this way. Now, if you were to cut it right here, there would develop a little bud right there and it would develop that way. So you can change the direction of a branch. And in bonsai, what they do is they let it grow out really far out and let it thicken up, pick a direction they want it to go, cut it there, and then it starts over for a few more years. So they let it grow, they develop, it keeps going. All right, so let's continue on. We're just about finished with the pruning of this and we can get into cloning. I've got some long guys that need to be taken care of here and right here. And I think if we take care of this right about there, I think that's a good spot right here. We've got some foliage there that can support the branch. We'll go a little high up for dieback, of course. Look at that, it's looking great. We are turning, it is looking great. So we got this long in over here. Let's take care of that. So I think I'm gonna go right about here. And I think we're looking great, wonderful. All right, so I'm just gonna shorten up some of these branches here just to finish this out. And if you know any bonsai practitioners like Peter Chen, who wrote this book right over there, he's tap, 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 tap. He's like a ninja. He's a bonsai ninja. Not a lot of leaves on this branch I want to cut. There's one right there. One thing you'll learn about the Brazilian rain tree, you can probably hard cut this right here and it's going to start growing all over the place. So I'm not too worried if I cut and there's no foliage on that branch. It may die back, it may, but it also has a better chance of budding. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that sort of low right about there, and that'll do the trick. Let's take a look at this once more. A nice view, 360 degrees. Oh yeah. So we're here. This is just the beginning of fall. So there is still a little bit more growing season left for everybody out there. As I said, the Brazilian rain tree will keep growing. As long as we keep those temperatures up in the greenhouse, I will have artificial light in the winter. Let's see, I got a little bit more. And if you know, this needs a new angle eventually. But this pot was made from, I believe, pecan, made by a local craftsman in Austin, Texas named Jeff Ray. My man. It is in great shape still. It's not softening up. And as I look at it on the camera, I think it's a little heavy right here, don't you think, you guys? I think we can go ahead and trim some of this down. I think this is too much of a high branch here. I want to have some height, but I think that was a little too high. Oh, I think that did it for you right there, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this one down too. There it is. And that one too. Hey y'all, here's a little something different. I'm driving on my way home here, and I thought, you know, geez, I drive by this beautiful HEB that's got a beautiful backyard garden. And I thought, boy, it'd be great to take you guys along to try to find maybe a shrub or something that we could turn into a bonsai, you know? And I thought that'd be great that we can do it on the program. So you're gonna join me while I hop into this HEB, which has got just an absolutely wonderful backyard. All right, we're here. Let's check it out. We can bonsai a rosemary. You know, I hear these plumbagos are pretty good. But you can see these trunks aren't very anything to write home about. So if you wanted to get one of these, you can just put that in the ground for a couple years and you may have something awesome. I may want to do that. I just came across these junipers, these 10 gallons here, or 10 inch rather. 10 gallon would be a lot, but look at the size of that trunk. I think we can definitely purchase one of these and do something with it. Alright, so I picked up 2 of these, just gorgeous thick trunks on them. I think I can definitely do something with these bad boys. So one of them I'm going to keep, one of them we'll do on the show. All right, now that you've got your cuttings, what do you do with them? How can you make these into even more trees? Well, let me show you. You just need some good potting soil. This is stuff that I mixed together. It's perlite, vermiculite, heavy on the vermiculite and the perlite there, and just some regular garden soil. Get that mixed up, mix it up with some water. That's all you need to do. We're gonna poke some holes into this. We're gonna do this real fast, real easy. We're out of here real soon, y'all. Okay, so what you'll want to do, let me get my prunes here. You take any one of your branches there. Okay, we're just going to cut off these thorns here. I don't want to get hit by those thorns. And that's a pretty decent cutting right there. You don't have to treat it or anything. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll cut this at a 45-degree angle. This is not necessary. And I've got 2 types of rooting hormone. I've got liquid hormone and I've got powder. I've had success with both. I do feel that the liquid works a lot better. So you give it a shot, you see what you'd like, but both will work for you. And you can dip right into that bad boy. And we're gonna dip it right into our hole. I don't like forcing it into the soil because I feel that it's going to wipe all that stuff off of it right before it goes into the hole. We want it to be coating inside the hole. That's about it. So if you keep that going, I'm going to go ahead and put all these in there. And the ones that are much higher and taller, it's not going to be able to support all this. There's no more root for this to support, so we need to cut this down. And so cutting it smaller means less foliage for the no roots to support. And it's almost best to leave as little foliage as you can on there. So I think that's a perfect little cutting. I cannot wait for that to root up, and we'll put that right into that hole. You'll want to keep these in a greenhouse in the shade until you start seeing it. I don't even know about the greenhouse. You know, I've actually been trying to keep them in the greenhouse for cuttings, and they haven't been doing that great. Well, all the foliage died. So I'll let you know if that's a good idea or not. I've had success with these cuttings just being out, just keeping them moist. Don't let them ever dry out. And I've had them definitely working. Matter of fact, I've got them right here. So these are rooted cuttings. They may be actually from that mother tree we were just cutting from. I don't know. I've got a few of those trees. As you can see, if you can zoom in, where are you? You're on this camera. There's a little bit of dieback right there. It died, and that could be cut off. But this is these are cuttings just a few months old. I can see roots coming out of the bottom. These are ready for transplant. These can be put into a bonsai pot. I wouldn't even put these in a bonsai pot yet. These are not ready for bonsai. Matter of fact, all the stuff that I have, it's not quite ready for bonsai. You want to develop it for years. I don't have a finished tree, nor do I think I'll ever have a finished tree. Hey y'all, Los here. And today I found, well, this is a continuation of the junipers I picked up at an HEB on clearance. I picked up 2 of them, and they were very low on soil. This was about a week ago. Yeah, about 6 days ago. I put some better soil in there. I didn't mess with the roots or anything. I just put better soil. And I just made sure it got some good waterings when it was dry. Today, I figure let's do a little bit of cutting and let's get some shade. Let's try to check some stuff out here. I'm not too great on styling here. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Maybe we'll just go for it. I think this is a good angle. I think once we get a repot going in maybe the spring, that's a good angle. Thinking about which ones I'm going to keep too much. I know that I took off a lot of the bottom ones, but I really just wanted to get to this main trunk, get a good look at it, and perhaps we can do this angled broom style. This style comes out a lot too far, you know, we may want to reduce that. Get rid of that and leave this foliage that's sort of growing up. I think it's good. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. You can see that foliage there. It's juvenile and then starts to mature. There's some mature stuff. Looks like cactus from far away. That was a little snippet of the bonsai show. I hope you enjoyed. There's going to be more to come, so be cool, stay hip, and get yourself a hobby. Talk to you later.